So, a little bit of coincidence? I don't know. Preston Stone on our left here with Delver. Depending on your disposition, either the good guy or the bad guy.
For sure.
And Michael Lee with green-white aggro.
Yeah, he's the challenger, I guess, really.
For my money, Michael Lee is the good guy. Sorry, Preston.
Yeah, you can look at it as more like the champion and the challenger. And I mean, deck archetype-wise.
I'm going with white hats and black hats.
Okay. Is this spy versus spy? Is that what we're...
Now, if you prefer, then we can go with the boxing style champion challenger.
I mean, Delver clearly the celebrated.
So you've got Apollo Creed on the left and Rocky Balboa on the right.
Yeah. Weren't you humming the Rocky theme song yesterday after we went off air?
I was actually humming the Rocky
randomly
theme song.
Just started. So, yeah. Michael Lee, green-white aggro, gonna take down Delver, or is Delver gonna defend its name in the hands of Preston Stone?
I mean, there is a reason
Preston's
that
going
Delver,
to 6, it looks like.
There's a reason that Delver is considered kind of the de facto best deck in the format. And a lot of it has to do with its incredible versatility of play.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it can be very aggressive, or it can really switch to kind of a pseudo control deck. Oddly, I thought it was going to be more of a control deck in that last match, but when you have the opportunity to flip multiple Delvers and put on that kind of pressure against a deck that really, beyond Gutshot, cannot interact with your insectile aberrations.
Yep.
You're probably fine with just deciding, you know what, I'm just going to go all in here. He also facing down a Spellskite in that last game. It's kind of like, I'm not going to be able to interact with one spell. I'm going to need to like bounce the Spellskite and deal with whatever is attacking. So I may as well just try to shorten the game as much as possible. And 2 flip Delvers did it for him. So if you're just joining us, I'm Joey Pasco in the booth with Adrian Sullivan.
Hello, hello.
And we're coming to you live from Denver, Colorado, where we're watching the finals of the StarCityGames.com Open Series. Preston Stone with blue-white Delver versus Michael Lee with green-white aggro.
Again,
so white is the best color in Magic then, apparently. Both of these guys playing white.
It's a Rancor versus Vapor Snag fight.
Neither of those cards are white.
I understand. I view this last match was Rancor versus Vapor Snag, and this match, Rancor versus Vapor Snag. I think we're going to see something similar happen again. Michael Lee, as more of a mid-range aggro deck, has the ability to really establish a table so that unless there is a Runechanter's Pike in play for Preston Stone, we can actually have a situation where Michael Lee will just gum up the table and Preston won't be able to get through.
Well, early advantage to Michael Lee for having 3 cards up on Preston Stone. Preston mulliganing to 4 right now. And, that's pretty bold. That's going to be possibly tough to overcome. I guess it depends on the 4 cards. Do we know who is the higher seed? Preston was the 8 seed, so actually Michael Lee definitely on the play here. So Preston will at least have that 1 additional card for being on the draw.
I definitely have seen on camera Delver win from 4 cards.
Absolutely, it can certainly do that.
I mean, to be fair, it was turn 1 Delver, turn 2 natural flip, turn 2 Delver, land, ponder, empty-handed, and then just ride it.
Yeah, it can happen. I know Michael Flores in the Invitational back in Baltimore described a mulligan to 4. It may have been a mulligan to 3, but I'm going to be safe and say it was 4, where he just, won. I think he won on turn 3. Somehow flipped Delver, Geist of St. No, maybe it wasn't turn 3. Whatever.
Probably
3 is in my head for some reason. But anyway, I'd rather not try to continue telling the story and botch it. But point is, he mulliganed to 4 or 3 cards and still won the game and match. He was pretty excited about it, so I remember him telling the story.
Razorverge Thicket from Michael Lee. No other play with that. He only has 7 mana acceleration, so...
Look at that hand. Hero of Bladehold is at Wolfir Silverheart and 4 lands. Plains, Razorverge Thicket, and is that Gavany Township, I believe?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for the zoom, Shoebox. That is a Gavany Township, so that is, I mean, he's got some big beats in there, but they're going to take a while. He's got all the mana to cast them, but we're not going to see anything until turn 4 at the earliest, with depending on what's on the top of his deck.
Oh, no, I thought I saw a Delver.
Okay, so Preston able to get another card with that probe.
Seems like a very loose keep for Michael Lee.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised as well. But Preston Stone with a ton of action, not very many lands. I don't believe he has a single land in hand. Plays a Thought Scour off of his Glacial Fortress and scours away Moorland Haunt and Delver of Secrets. Draws Augur of Bolus and passes back. So
maybe I'm wrong, but do I see a Delver in his hand?
he does have a Delver in his hand.
Why not just cast that Delver?
I'm not sure. Sword of War and Peace off the top. Second Glacial Fortress off the top for Preston. And here comes Delver. And here comes...
I think we're going to see
okay, sorry. That was, the one Glacial Fortress came into play tapped, and then he cast the Delver. Hero of Bladehold for Michael Lee. Preston already against the wall here. Delver flips off of Ponder. So that's good news for Preston. I think we're going to see an actual game here. Kind of depends on how much Preston is able to interact with that. I don't think there are. So.
Oh boy!
But he does have Ponder, so he could potentially ponder into a snag. If Preston's unable to interact with that hero plus sword is pretty much game over, I think.
Hero can be pretty much game over.
Yeah, that's why that sword there is just
pondering.
Just that much more for Michael Lee.
Preston thinking his options over.
So in his hand we can see Augur of Bolus, Geist of St. Traft, Ponder, Snapcaster, and Mana Leak. I'm pretty sure that's the 5. Yeah, Ponder, Mana Leak. So, thinking about what he should do here, I mean...
Well, I think he's going to have to attack, period, no matter what. And a Ponder, hoping for Vapor Snag on top of it.
That's my line of play right there, I think. Maybe do the Ponder first just to get that more information. No, he just passes back. He doesn't even Ponder.
That seems crazy.
It does. Wolfear Silverheart gets Mana Leaked. Okay. So no sword action this turn. It's just going to hang out there. But Hero of Bladehold's coming in, bringing some buddies.
And if that Delver doesn't block, then why didn't it attack?
That's a good question.
Card 1, Augur.
Augur of Bolus off the top for Preston Stone, and already at a precarious 11 life.
Ponder. Let's see what would have happened.
Yeah, so Ponder sees Ghost Quarter, land.
Anyway.
So it was 3 land Ponder with the 3 moon Ponder, and I believe it's just Ghost Quarter, Moorland Haunt, Island. Does that look right to you?
Yeah, well, what would have happened is he would have already had another land in play from last turn. Ponder into those cards, some of them. Lay a land, still have the Mana Leak for the Wolfear Silverheart, but have 1 more mana out.
Yeah, so not a huge advantage, but could be significant. The other thing we know is that he would have drawn either a combination of lands or Augur of Bolus for the next few turns. So he does decide to keep it, grabs the Ghost Quarter, and plays Augur of Bolus. This is not the position that Preston wants to be in. Augur finds Vapor Snag, but Preston unable to cast it right now. He's tapped out. I don't see how he gets out of this one.
I don't see a way.
So he can, at best, block. I mean, he's at 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, he's dead, right? I mean, Michael can just.
Not looking good.
He can't. Preston can't interact. He doesn't have access to a gut shot that I know of. I never saw a gut shot in his hand. So Michael just equipped the sword to a soldier and swing. Yeah, equip the sword to a soldier. Swing in. One soldier is going to be a 4/4. Hero is going to be a 3 power, and then the other 3 soldiers are all 2 power. No, he doesn't even equip. So, I mean, Preston can survive this turn, but barely.
Well, I mean, Preston, for the most part, I think there were some plays I disagreed with, but he went down to 4 cards.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't. Sometimes you just can't draw the cards that you need.
And we see the Gavney Township. Let's go crazy.
Makes all the soldiers just a little bit bigger. So that's 16 power worth of creatures, right? Am I counting that up correctly? They're all 2 power soldiers getting Battle Cry, right? So they're 2/2 soldiers all getting Battle Cry. So they're all 3 power soldiers.
It's 12 plus 4,
the 16. Yeah.
It's the next game.
Yeah, so that attack has flipped Preston's Delver back. No.
It scared the insect off of him.
Yeah, it's just
down to 1 life. He decides to draw a card to see what he can do.
So he decided, it looks like, to block 2 of the oh, he just blocked hero and 1 of the soldiers. Okay. So he should have taken 9 there.
He's he's ghost quartering Michael Lee.
I thought he was 11 and he took 9.
Laying a land.
Right?
Who knows?
You know, because if he blocked hero and soldier, then he took 9. Does that sound right to you? And I thought he was at 11.
Yeah.
He was just at 11. So
I love how Preston is still playing this out right now.
maybe he blocked soldier.
I mean, regardless, I love how Preston is just playing this out right now. Like, okay, Preston. Like, don't know what you're doing here, but
he's looking for Day of Judgment.
Yeah, you know, as many times as I look at my hand and I know my deck list.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not sure
he's not timed. He figures I'm not going to live much longer anyway. I may as well just spend a couple minutes just to look and see, is there something that I'm not thinking of that I could possibly do here? Do I have like Maelstrom Pulse for these soldiers or something?
Yeah, stuff that he doesn't have in his deck.
Echoing Truth, which he could actually cast, but also would lose him the game and match, probably.
Well, besides Michael Lee taking down that first game with a very, very clear victory,
it was soldier. Okay.
Now we also have, for everyone else out there, an opportunity to get a win themselves. And what you're going to do is join in on our trivia contest to get, in this case, a full year of Star City Games Premium.
Yeah, so that brings you guys, a ton of content.
Yeah. Now,
Return to Ravnica, all that content, Gatecrash, and then Sinker, which is of course the code name for the third set.
Who knows what it's going to be?
M14.
Well, like, the way I look at it is like this. I can think of some people out there in the Magic universe who I know who are like, I don't need Star City Games Premium. Nothing that's said by those people is anything I need. Well, here's where you're wrong. Let's pretend that no one writes, let's pretend for the sake of argument, and this is not true, that no one writes anything useful to you because you're so smart. Well, the thing is that other people out there who are not as smart as you are going to be reading that content. And if you also are reading that content, you can go like this. Oh, this looks like the deck that Jerry Thompson wrote about this weekend. If this person's copying Jerry Thompson's list, I bet you he has Sword of Feast and Famine in his deck.
Yeah, he's playing Swerve.
Yeah,
so now I can play around it.
I need to know that. So I actually think the content is great and worth keeping up with and reading. But if you're one of those people that doesn't think that, you should still get on Premium. Here's how you can get a year of it. Hashtag SCG Premium with your answer to this trivia question.
Yeah.
One person who gets the answer correct will be the lucky recipient of a year of free Premium. So what is your question, Joey?
All right, so we, as I was mentioning few minutes ago, we've had pretty exciting decks featured in this tournament. Denver has impressed me with its with just the myriad decks that it's brought.
Right.
The very interesting things. One of the more interesting decks that we've seen this weekend was also, it did make the top 8, was the Black Market deck. Kind of a new kid on the block.
Right.
So what card inspired the name of the Black Market deck?
Doesn't it have an invitational card in it?
Well, it's not an actual invitational card. But
okay.
I did jokingly refer to it as Brad Nelson's invitational card.
Oh, I was thinking about the other invitational card, not the fake invitational card.
Were you thinking of something different? Okay.
Well, I know which thing you're thinking of. The invitational card of Brad Nelson is the inspiration.
It's certainly a pet card of Brad Nelson's. So if you know the name of the card that inspired the name of the deck, the Black Market deck, tweet the answer to us with the hashtag SCG Premium, and you could win a year of free premium access to StarCityGames.com.
Okay.
So, pretty cool.
And back to our match on hand. Michael Lee up 1-0 versus Preston Stone. Michael Lee with white-green aggro. You know, I think what's likely to happen here is he's going to bring in 2 Crushing Vines, definitely. And I know a lot of players really like Thalia against Delver. I have mixed feelings about it because of Gut Shot, but one of the things about Thalia, a lot of these Delver lists, they're running 18 lands, they're running 19 lands, and if you make their Ponder, Thought Scour, Gitaxian Probe engine be less effective, you can very easily just kind of make that deck go off of its game. So even though Gut Shot is a really strong answer to Thalia, I've seen people play Thalia a lot against these decks. So, but definitely Crushing Vines.
Possibly a third Thragtusk.
Possibly, yeah.
I mean, the card is just, it may as well just say on it, actually I just won't even say what I was thinking, but it's very good against Vapor Snag.
On the other side of the table, I really like the Phantasmal Images. And I also, since these players get to have each other's deck lists, I also do have a soft spot for a Sword of War and Peace of my own.
Yeah. I was thinking that potentially Sword of War and Peace as a card that he might want to bring in. Possibly, he's got 2 Divine Offerings also for the opposing swords, of which we did see one there, although it was not what did him in.
One of the reasons I like Sword of War and Peace for Preston's deck is that in addition to making the clock be faster, that life gain actually matters. You can get into a foot race very easily.
Yeah, Michael Lee was able to capitalize on Preston's mulligan last game, but we'll see if Preston can find a keepable 7 this time. If you're just joining us, I'm Joey Pascal, joined in the booth. I think I just pronounced my last name Joey Pascal like you did yesterday. I'm Joey Pascal, joined in the booth by Adrian Sullivan, and we're bringing you guys live coverage of the standard finals of the StarCityGames.com Open Series here in Denver, Colorado. Game 2 coming right up between Michael Lee with green-white aggro and Preston Stone with blue-white Delver. More and more players showing up now for Legacy. Austin Yost told me yesterday he is playing mono red. He is playing Burn. That is the deck that he has. He won the Legacy Open back. Was it earlier this year or late last year? It was either November or January, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
He top 8'd twice.
It was late December that he won, and early January that he top 8'd. Or
so
maybe the other way around.
He's used Burn to good effect in the Legacy Opens over the past year. So he's going to try to run that back yet again. I'm sorry, go ahead.
A quick note from Twitter. Philip James Dickman says he's pretty sure that Magic debuted at Origins, and Wizards of the Coast agrees. Origins 93 in July.
Okay. So Origins, Gen Con, I got those mixed up. I thought I had heard recently that it was Gen Con. So thanks for the correction there.
Yeah, I had heard that recently as well. But Wizards of the Coast is saying Origins 93.
All right, well,
So-
that works too. It's still, the rest of the statement applies. We are in the 20th year of Magic the Gathering, and it feels like we were just, I remember the 10th anniversary, all the stuff they're talking, like, oh, Magic's been around for 10 years, and that feels like it was just like last year or 2 years ago or something.
I remember when I was playing D&D and the DM told us to put away our darn cards like it was yesterday.
I started playing Magic and D&D in the same summer, but Magic quickly eclipsed D&D. I didn't play D&D for very long at all.
I think actually Magic did not kill D&D for me. College killed D&D for me.
Yeah. I think it was just a matter of the same group of friends, and it was like we played D&D a couple of times, but we were also excited to play Magic, so we just kept playing Magic. It was just, we got into them right at the same time, summer, like
I think
1995.
For me, it was more looking for something competitive when college started, and college sports. Even though I was a competitive athlete as a high school student, going to the University of Wisconsin, that was just such a huge university that it was impossible to really be involved at that level of competition.
Yeah.
And I discovered Tournament Magic, and that was the end of it. Yeah.
Or the beginning.
Well, whichever way you want to look at it. I think my mom at the time might have had more harsh words for the effect that Magic had on my life.
Chris Pikula with the creative answers to the trivia questions.
I would be willing to bet that Chris Pikula remembers these early days as well.
I imagine he would.
I'm not sure. I don't think that Chris was at Gen Con this year, but if he did, I'd be curious if he would have been as excited to see Eric Tam as I was.
If any of you guys out there don't know who Chris Pikula is, first of all, shame on you.
Word.
Second of all, Meddling Mage. If you've ever seen the card or played with the card Meddling Mage.
Oh, she's a really cool mage.
Oh, yeah? Are you talking about that card that was in Shards of Alara block? I think was it Alara
yeah.
one? Is that?
Yeah.
That one? Are you just trying to prod Chris Pikula?
There are not enough women of color that are portrayed in Magic cards.
So Chris Pikula is one of them? Is that what you're getting? I'm confused. You're very much confusing me. All right, so any mulligans happening, or are we all set?
I mean, I'm not sure, but there's a lot of shuffling going on.
Okay, so Michael's going to 6.
Michael going to 6.
So it sounds like Preston kept his 7. That's a good start compared to last game. It looks like Michael's kept his 6 because we've got a Seachrome Coast into a Ponder from Preston Stone. Here in Game 2 of the finals of the Standard Open at the StarCityGames.com Open Series in Denver. Ponder sees Vapor Snag, Gut Shot, and another Seachrome Coast, I believe. Only got a quick glimpse of it. Preston's going to shuffle it away.
I just did a quick gatherer search on Meddling Mage, and I love how the Shards block Meddling Mage is the default version.
I'm sure there's at least one person that is watching that disagrees with you. That
I don't actually love it.
You just find it amusing.
I find it stupidly amusing.
There
might not be a Magic Invitational anymore, but there should be some respect given to the Invitational winners.
There's a lot of people that agree with you, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think that actually when Evan Irwin went to the Invitational, that was the end of it all for everybody. Wizards was like, let's just get rid of this thing.
I love that Evan got to go to the Invitational.
Forrest from Michael Lee. No acceleration once again. I do too. Ponder
number 2 from Preston, and we see Glacial Fortress Island Vapor Snag. He shuffled away a similar, actually probably a better Ponder last turn, and so again these Ponders are basically just cantrips here, just like draw a random card off the top so far for Preston. So no luck on the Ponders, at least these two. So, got a quick peek at Preston's hand. He does have at least a Vapor Snag. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood that. Yeah, so he's got a Vapor Snag, drew an island, I believe, off the ponder. Has another island. Ooh, no, I know there's a Ghost Quarter there. Trying to look at Preston's hand.
You see a Thalia?
Yeah, turn 2 Thalia from Michael Lee.
Any gut shots over there for Preston?
Don't quite see any gut shots. So double snag.
Geist, Ghost Quarter. Triple snag? Is that triple snag?
Could be triple snag. There's a Moorland Haunt. Could be triple snag, yeah. So
and a pass.
Yeah, it is. It's triple snag for sure. No wonder he's pushing those snags that he keeps pondering into. It's the same snag. He's pondered into it twice, I think. Okay, Geist may have been Cavern. Yeah, that could be Cavern. It's hard because they're both gold, so.
And we see a snag there. That takes the Thalia off the table.
Yeah,
and Geist comes on in.
Strangleroot Geist, in for 2. Mana Leak off the top for Preston. And trying to decide what land he wants to play, Cavern, or I'm sorry, that's not even Cavern, that's Ghost Quarter. I think he's got Island Cavern still in hand, so Island Cavern, double snag, Mana Leak.
No, he is playing a Restoration Angel build.
That's his hand.
And so we now have the 4 mana moment of, do you have the Angel? How do I want to play this?
Well, I think Michael's
out.
fine. Just swing in. You can't just sit and play scared. You just got to swing in. Strangleroot Geist in for another 2, and Preston deciding, does he want to flash in the Restoration Angel that is not in his hand? Or maybe just play Vapor Snag, which is in his hand.
Takes
I'm
2.
with Preston here. Just it's early. Take 2. You go to 16. You're fine. No need to use all the Vapor Snags just yet.
Thalia gets leaked.
Has an answer for that Thalia that he bounced last turn. I think that was a pretty good turn for Preston.
Ooh, Image. It's exciting with the Strangleroot Geist out there.
Sure is. All right, so that was Cavern of Souls and not Geist of St. Traft, as we suspected. Plays an island. And Preston with access to 5 mana here. Could play Jace Memory Adept, but not in his deck. Could also play Gideon Jura if one of those other sources were white, but also not in his deck. Also,
he could also play Black Lotus if it was a different format.
He could play that, yeah. So there we go with the Phantasmal Image on the Strangleroot Geist. Holding on to that Cavern. So his hand is Cavern, double Vapor Snag. Michael Lee has a Restoration Angel of his own.
Wow,
a Ranker
that is
on
aggressive.
the Strangleroot Geist, and Vapor Snag, says Preston Stone, going to put a stop to those shenanigans. Michael
like pretending as though he's
Ranker.
doing something else there with it. Are we going to see the Geist get leaked?
No, he used that Mana Leak on the
he used it,
Thalia.
yeah. So Geist just hits.
Yeah, so Geist comes back down after being snagged, swings in, and Preston with the opportunity to just block, and both creatures could trade up.
I think he's trying to figure out the app-nap of this all. When they both die, what will happen with his image? And the question is actually a pretty simple one. They both won the stack. Michael's will go on the stack first. Preston's will resolve first. The image will come back into play as a 1/1.
So there's no actual Geist there.
There's no Geist
yet
for it to copy.
copy.
So it'll be a 1/1 Geist.
That AppNap, always interesting.
This is the discussion they're having right now. What's my image? It's a 1/1. It's a 0/0 creature. No, it's not dead. It is not dead. It is not dead. There we go.
So we do know that it's a 1/1 though, right? I mean,
It is a 1/1.
Right now,
It is a 1/1.
Looking at the board, you could potentially think it's a Strangleroot Geist with the counter, just like Michael Lee has. So, all right. So another Mana Leak off the top for Preston.
Okay.
Okay, Judge got him
Good
straight.
work, Judge.
So
and Preston attacks with his 1/1.
Swings
and
in with the
3-2
1/1.
blocks it.
Yeah. I guess Preston didn't realize it was a 1/1 or didn't quite catch that.
And the judge is like, I told you, it's a 1/1.
Right.
Oh, I was thinking it was a 3-2.
All right, looks like moving on here. Michael Lee up a game here in the finals, and Preston struggling to find pressure.
I think we might see a Geist hit the table.
Does he have a Geist? I don't think he has Geist of
that's
St.
the Cavern,
Trafford. It was a
wasn't it?
Cavern.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought it was Geist of St. Trafford. It ended up being Cavern, so his hand, I believe, is just Mana Leak Vapor Snag.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's really not the greatest. He thought it was a 2-2 for some reason. Huh. Okay, that's just report from the table. For some reason, he thought it was a 2-2. I guess he was maybe thinking it was a 1-1 with a counter on it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's a 1-1, and it's got a counter.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it was a 0-0 with a counter.
Yeah. So, okay. So, Preston with basically Vapor Snag as his only defense against that Strangleroot Geist right now. He's still at a healthy 16, so plenty of time for him to get into this game. Takes 3 from the Geist, and Acidic Slime comes down from Michael Lee and is met with Mana Leak number 2 from Preston.
And I think we're going to see a Haunt.
Moorland Haunt making a guy. Ooh, that's a frightening spirit. Gitaxian Probe off the top. Maybe we'll get a peek at Michael Lee's hand, since he seems to be very doing a very good job of keeping it close enough for us to see.
Boy.
So, Green Sun Zenith, Wolfear Silverheart, and Restoration Angel. Pretty big threat, and a chance to get a pretty big threat. So, kind of a lot of gas from Michael Lee. And he's been content to just play with the Strangleroot Geist up until now.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, he's like, that's all I
pretty
got.
good one.
Just these 3 bombish guys. So.
In with the Spirit for 1.
And in for 3. Yeah, Michael Lee swings back with the Geist, and if he passes the turn, we know exactly which creature he wants to play. Oh, a Thragtusk off the top. So yeah, my hand's still the same as it was, and now I'm playing a Thragtusk. And Preston with a Vapor Snag in hand, not looking great against the Thragtusk.
Did he not draw from his Gitaxian Probe, or did he?
That's a good question.
I don't think he drew from his Gitaxian Probe.
He played
because he had Vapor Snag Gitaxian Probe last hand.
Right.
And he had the 6 mana.
Yeah,
as well.
You may be right. I think he may have.
No, he did not draw from his Gitaxian Probe.
So he's pondering now. I see Snapcaster, Phantasmal Image, and Seachrome Coast. Yeah, his hand was Vapor Snag. He Mana Leaked to the Acidic Slime, right?
Yeah.
So it was Vapor Snag Probe.
Vapor Snag Probe. He played the Probe.
And then now for the turn has drawn Ponder.
Yeah,
which
he
pondering.
definitely didn't draw.
They're looking into it.
Okay. This slight pause we have is the judges being like, okay, wait a second, how many cards do you got? This is not a question of triggers. This is a question of resolving your spell. For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan. I'm here in the booth with Joey Pasco. Cow. This is the Star City Games Live Open Series here, and we're in Denver, Colorado. And I think that we are going to see that image copying Thragtusk, image that he found with the Ponder.
Yes. So it looks like at this point I don't really know how that is supposed to work, if he didn't draw for his probe or what, but either way, Ponder resolves, Phantasmal Image in hand, comes down, copies presumably Thragtusk, and looks like Preston's going up to 15. Spirit in for 1. Michael Lee now to 21.
Something really interesting was pointed out on Twitter by Nishru2003. When that Phantasmal image came back as a 1/1, it does not have the sacrifice clause.
Because it didn't copy anything.
Right. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that either until I saw it. So, Wolfear Silverheart comes down from Michael Lee, resolves, and is soul bonded to that Strangleroot Geist. That is a 7-power Geist, swinging into a Thragtusk alongside a Thragtusk. So,
I mean, if I were Preston here, I would have my copy block the Strangleroot Geist. And I believe... Oh, that's not enough to kill it, is it?
No. It's a 7/6 Geist, I think, right?
Yeah, okay. We can still do this, though. Block the Strangleroot Geist. Bounce... No, bounce the Silverheart. There we go. That kills. The Strangleroot Geist dies. Your image dies. You get a 3/3. It comes, like, right there. Like, you've still got a good defense. You're still fine. You know, like...
And he lost the 5 from the Thragtusk that he had gotten from the image, so...
I mean, you're not fine exactly, you're empty-handed here, but... With a Meddling Mage, a Snapcaster Mage, I think he just drew. Wow, look at this aggression.
Michael Lee at a healthy 20. Yeah, what is going on? He's got Snapcaster Vapor Snag available. I guess that's his plan.
Snapcaster Leak?
Snapcaster Leak could be his plan, yeah.
I mean, I like to have... my beast kill his Thragtusk.
He does still have Moorland Haunt available, and has a chump blocker for 3 mana, so he can do some.
Okay, and that beast replaces the backward card.
Not looking great for Preston Stone here in the finals. But he's still trying to put up a fight. So Michael Lee gonna go ahead and attack with Thragtusk. Preston probably just make a chump blocker. Yeah. Moorland Haunt, chump blocker. Spirit. Does it matter? It's gonna die right now. Just put something in front of it and take it away. Okay, there it goes. Spirit chump blocks. And Restoration Angel from Michael Lee.
He knew that angel was there too.
Yeah, we all knew the angel was there. And it looks like, I mean, the best that Preston can do here is Snapcaster Vapor Snag the Thragtusk, so the Thragtusk doesn't get reset by the angel. And that's what's going to happen. Snapcaster Vapor Snag on the Thragtusk. Thragtusk goes away, angel comes down.
I mean, I feel like if he was planning on making this aggressive set of plays, he needed to just eat that 5 damage so that he could cast the Mana Leak. That should be, I think, yeah. And now back on D. Michael Lee looking to be in excellent shape.
Yeah, we know in his hand he has Wolfear Silverheart and a Thragtusk. In addition to like 3 other cards, Green Sun Zenith, and we don't know what else. All right, so Beast and Angel into the red zone from Michael Lee. Preston's Beast blocks Michael's Beast, so they're just going to trade. And Michael in for 3 with the Angel. Thragtusk coming back down to join the party. Preston allows it to resolve. Don't think he has any other choice in the matter, but appears to resolve, and Michael Lee gains another 5 life. Preston, I believe, has drawn Delver or Seachrome Coast this turn. He has both of those in his hand.
One of the things that's happening here, I think, one of the things that I think is going to be a real issue here for for Preston is to figure out some path out of this danger zone. I mean, he's under such heavy pressure. There are still great cards in Michael Lee's hand. This is very rough for Preston. He needs to not draw land anymore. He needs to draw really good cards from now on in. I don't think he needed to be under such pressure if he had played this a little bit differently.
Yeah, he tried to be a little aggressive and got kind of punished for it.
Well, if he had tried to be aggressive, that's fine, but he needed to do it in a different way.
He switched gears. He kind of was aggressive and then changed his mind.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things, if you got to be decisive when you're making a strategic decision. You can't start one way, change another midway through it. You can change direction. Changing gears is an important part of learning how to play Magic at a high level, but what you can't do is change it immediately in the midst of doing it.
Right. All right, so everybody in for Michael Lee, including a pair of Strangleroot Geists, a Restoration Angel, a Thragtusk, and Thragtusk being blocked by Delver's Secrets, Angel being blocked by Spirit Token. Strangleroot Geists both getting in. That's 4, knocking Preston to 3 here. More fuel for the Moorland Haunt, which I believe is exactly what's happening here. And yeah, it makes a Spirit with that newly dead Delver at the end of Michael's turn, so just another chump blocker. And his hand is 2 lands, and there it is the handshake. Michael Lee with green-white aggro takes the tournament.
Yeah.
And the match, takes the match and the tournament, whichever order you'd like to put it. It's both, and there it is, fist bump, trophy, green-white aggro, destroys Delver,
right.
2-0. I understand Preston mulliganed to 4 in game 1, kept to 7 game 2, so he was just run over by beasts and geists and angels, just too much, just overwhelmed.